Safahi. I'm CEO and founder of ZipZap, which is a global cash payment network. We help customers shop online and pay cash offline in their local communities and local currency. And we got involved with Bitcoin about a year and a half ago. Doing partnership with BitInstant and TradeHill and other companies, other exchanges who were trying to sell to consumers, but didn't want to take any chance with credit cards for chargebacks. And also they wanted a way to immediately credit the customer's account when the payment was made, which they couldn't do with a bank transfer because there's chargeback potential and so forth. So with our cash network, we help them alleviate those concerns. Basically, the customers go to the exchanges, they buy Bitcoins, then based on their locations, we can send them to a local retail store or post office or bank to make a payment in cash. And when they do that, we would get approval in real time, and they would have the credit on their wallet with the exchange immediately, even sometimes before they leave the store.
How Bitcoin can help bank the unbanked?
I think there are a lot of benefits to Bitcoin in terms of reducing friction in the transactions. So currently, there are one of the use cases is global remittance. There are people spending billions of dollars, $74 billion worth of fees that are being charged on a 300 some billion dollars worth of remittance. So especially in poorer countries, the cost is even higher. You see some examples of people leapfrogging over existing infrastructure in Africa, for example, mobile phone to make payments, and they're bypassing credit cards, they're bypassing money transfer companies. They're actually making person-to-person payment using M-Pesa on their wallet. But what M-Pesa does for Kenya and Africa, we can do globally with Bitcoins. It's really not that difficult. And some people say, well, these people are poor, they don't have phones. One of the examples I saw recently in the UK was that a lot of expatriates that come here from Africa, when their contracts are up with their phones, they send it back home to their friends and family. So there's millions of handsets that are being shipped back home that these people are using for M-Pesa, for mobile transfer. The other thing is there are companies popping up that allow people to transfer money using mobile, but using Bitcoins in the middle. So you put cash in one country, you can get cash out in the other, but the money transfer is being done via Bitcoin or Rails or Ripple, which is another currency. There are a number of ways that you can help people reduce remittance costs, but also for e-commerce, if we, instead of giving money to these foreign countries in the form of foreign aids, which is about $130 billion a year, instead, if we just put that money into building infrastructure for people to do e-commerce themselves using Bitcoin, because it's perfect for microtransactions, right? You can't use Visa, MasterCard, Amex, because it's transaction costs. But with Bitcoin, there's very little or none transaction costs. So you can enable these entrepreneurs in those countries sell their stuff online for $1 or $2 or whatever. And those microtransactions can add up to hundreds of dollars, which is huge amounts of money. And I'd rather have that in the form of aid to those countries instead of giving money to the heads of governments that you never know how much that really trickles down to the average customer in the street. So you can help the poor get out of poverty by reducing their remittance costs, by helping them do e-commerce online. And those are just a couple of ways that you can help the unbanked.
Yeah, and how do you feel about peer-to-peer banking?
I think there is a reason we have banks. I really don't have anything against the institution of banking. I think there's a really good reason. There's a reason we have AML policies and so forth. I think it's okay to enable customers to transfer money back and forth to each other. Not just okay, it's great, we should do it. But I don't know about if I like the idea of a person being my banker. And I think I heard a case where there was a bank that tried to do a human ATM, where you just look up an app and you find out where the closest person is that has cash, and you can pay them money from your account and get cash from them. The idea, I guess, sounds interesting and enables quick access to cash, but it backfired because those people were marked and you could get robbed, right? So I don't know if I like a human being a bank, but I really like the institution of banking. I just like them to be, brought on board the Bitcoin wagon, and the day that we see banks selling Bitcoin gift cards and travel cards, that's the day we know we've hit mainstream acceptance.
What do you hope to see in the future of Bitcoin? In the near future?
I like to see Bitcoin being a positive force for change in terms of, helping reduce costs for the unbanked, helping reduce the friction in the transaction. I like to emphasize the positive aspects. There are a lot of protocols that are built on top of Bitcoin that nobody ever talks about. That you can use Bitcoin for, escrow transaction. You can use Bitcoin for authentication, validation. You can have badges on LinkedIn that everybody can put if they take a course, and then have that badge be validated with Bitcoin. There's stuff that you can do off blockchain that are really valuable because you have a really good network of P2P consumers worldwide computers. They can be used for the good. So the monetary value of Bitcoin is one thing, but these other protocols can help create businesses. I love to see options trading and derivatives and other financial instruments built on top of Bitcoin protocol. We don't need any more exchanges, really. We just need a lot more of these kind of innovations.
Thank you.
Sure, my pleasure.